So I believe that Half-Life 2 shows their portrayed dystopia as a side-to-side representation of the worldwide governments, and here's why. Both sides have their ways of controlling the government, and both sides have the same idea that humanity needs to be controlled, whether by force or being monitored secretly, without local operators being on top of people wherever they go. Hi, my name's Alaruthe, and this is how Valve sees how our lives will be in the future. Quick recap on what happened since Black Mesa. After the events of Half-Life 1, the protagonist Gordon Freeman was hired by G-Man, and has been kept in stasis for over 10 years. Within those 10 years, an alien race that the people call the Combine has started invading Earth. The United Nations said screw you, and began defending the planet with their own military. The Combine didn't like that and began to fight back, leading to the destruction of Earth. Hence the 7-Hour War, which, fun fact, was a reference to the Six-Day War between Israel and the coalition of Arab states back in 1967. Once the aliens took full control, they began to exterminate most of the human population, which the rest were taken into slavery, mind-controlled, and turned into soldiers, with a human to act as the talking head, puppeteering the city sectors. The Combine Empire saw these humans as resources to expand their unending armies and culture, fusing our technology with their own, making energy-based weaponry, magnetic walls, which either serve as barriers or literal metal detectors that destroy contraband from your person. Racial difference was never really a problem, nor was hating species, as at the same time everyone was oppressed by the Combine Empire, mainly by force while keeping tabs on all other upstanding citizens. And this is where we start analyzing the aftermath of the full invasion and the control over humanity.
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived.
The game starts you on a train to one of the city centers. You look around to find civilians, all in blue jumpsuits. Following the civilians, there will be a checkpoint. The Metro Police there will stop people from going forward. And if they're not part of the regulations, they will be taken to a room to be interrogated or tortured. Later on, you would be taken to what appears to be a cafeteria. Metro Police taunt you by having you pick up a can that he dropped before letting you go. Then people are lined up for packed rations, and others tell you to not drink the water for various reasons. Wait, rewind that clip again? Did that guy, that godforsaken guy, that actively tries to irritate you by making you pick up the thing he just dropped? You can clearly see that he just wants to give beef to you for no reason, and you can't do anything about it! Valve! Why the fuck? Ahem! This scene right here shows how the commanding power billows the citizens with just one action. They look at you while they guard the checkpoint, and then drop the can while looking straight at you and telling you to pick it up. It shows that the Combine power is in control, not the humans suppressed by them. Outside, there are surveillance cameras everywhere you look. This is actually a good comparison of the spy cameras that are a part of China that recently were found by the US government and were immediately shot down by our jets. According to the article High Altitude Espionage and India's National Security, these balloons are surveillance balloons that are equipped with sensors, cameras, or communication equipment to track and gather information. These spy balloons can either be anchored to the ground or float at a great height, giving them the ability to take extensive pictures of their surroundings. This was found by the American government and was shot down by American fighter aircrafts. Once you get over the blockades, You will look over to find Combine subjugating civilians in the area. Everywhere you go, the police are there, either arresting people or beating them up. This is a small example of colonialism, a power that took full control and power of the human race. Some of those people who are arrested are either taken to a place people call the Citadel, which turns people into the Combine, or something worse.
Attention, ground units. Anti-citizen reported in this community. Code. Lock. Cauterized.
When talking about the civilians, it really shows only one side of the picture. We're going to need to talk about the Combine's part of the world as well. As you process through the game, there will be 3 types of Combine soldiers that you will go through. There are 5 if you count the variants, the prison guards and the shotgun soldiers, but we'll just start with 3 for now. The Metro Police are the lighter and more talkative of the Combine Overwatch. They are the first line of defense when part of the Combine hierarchy. They carry lightweight weapons and carry out tasks. The only difference between them and the rest of the soldiers are the police's motives. When carrying out a task given by the Overwatch, they are rewarded points in their record to gain better things like stations, job groups, or stronger unit groups. The Overwatch transhuman arms, or Combine soldiers for short, are a step up to the police on the account that they lose their free will and now only a pawn to the higher-ups. They carry medium to heavy weaponry, as well as common foot soldiers in infiltrating rebel bases. The elite Overwatch soldiers, or Combine elites, are the last step to becoming a full-fledged Combine soldier. This is where there is no humanity left, nor there is free will or similarities. While the elites contain better intellect, accuracy, and more tankier than the rest of the OTA division, they are mainly stationed within highly important areas like the Nexus or the Citadel. Finally, the ones behind the Combine are these large psionic maggots that the people call advisors. Their mind controls the whole Combine hierarchy with how they act and how they respond. Think of them as the mastermind behind all of this, behind the talking head for the city sectors and the Combine that oppress humanity.
No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until, well, let's just say your hour has come again.
So why is it really important that I'm talking to you about this? Why am I telling you all these mean things about what this government power wants in control of people? Well, when comparing it to the real world, you can see that there are similarities that could say that we're no different. All these bad things about how the alien government uses and controls people are more of an exaggeration, at least to what the real world does. For example, India wants to take over the internet in order to stop free speech or finding spy cameras in your common technology, making you feel rather unsafe about your surroundings. What's similar is as well as the fact that even North Korea has been trying to keep moderate control over their civilians and military workers. According to the Human Rights Watch website, where it talks about North Korea remains one of the world's most repressive states. The government there restricts all civil and political liberties, including freedom of expression, assembly, association, and religion. It also prohibits all organized political opposition, independent media, civil society, and trade union. They routinely use arbitrary arrest and punishment of crimes, torture in custody, and executions to maintain fear and control over the population. Notice the resemblance? All of these bad things are all jumbled up into one military power. The spy cameras that monitor your every move, the constant control over people on what they say and do. Even if you look around in City 17, there is no sign of religion because the Combine Empire belittles their culture, forcing them to listen to their own. Any TV screen that you can find have no entertaining channels, and only have propaganda, which is pretty much just Dr. Breen spouting out nonsense just to keep the civilians in line.
I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... well, I'm really not at liberty to say.
So, everything I told you is all proof that Half-Life's dystopia is a possible future of what will happen to our world one day. All of what's currently happening now will become a grander version of before. Social media will stop becoming part of our free speech. Surveillance cameras will be watching our every move. Police brutality becoming worse. And food and water rations will become so bare and empty that it's pretty much just eating sand. Usually, a good way to talk about these things is to try and get the government's attention and tell them that this part of what they're doing is wrong. Sometimes, it won't do anything, but it will grab other people's attention until the government has to do something. Now, I'm not really saying that you should. It's the fact that it's a possibility that might happen when you want something to change. Besides, sometimes when you don't like how others do it, usually the best way is to do it yourself. That way, you'll either know why others did it, or be happy that you did it your way instead. At the end of the day, usually the right man...
the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.